we could just go back
Yeah,
for a minute.
yeah,
real quick,
sure,
early,
sure.
Like days with Hopkins.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about what the film culture was like in Baltimore at that time? I know you mentioned some of the theaters, but just in terms of, just your sense of how much interest there was and the kind of places that people would get together to talk about these films.
Well, I don't know what it was like on the other campuses, but we had pretty good crowds at Hopkins, I think because, well, for one thing, at Hopkins, I don't know if it's still the same way, but Hopkins students were notorious for not going very far from campus. I don't know if because they were too studious, not me, but or what, but I think that was their main outlet for films for some of them, because some of these theaters were in existence, and there were the theaters that showed more popular stuff, like the Boulevard and the Senator. They were all fairly close, but I didn't. The only sense I got was that our series was fairly popular. And I didn't learn about some of what was going on other campuses until I worked at the library, and I got a lot of the professors at Towson and UMBC would borrow films from us, and I got to know some of them. So my experience previous to the Film Forum was, pretty narrow. I mean, I started going downtown to the movies when I was like 12 years old. Of course, I wasn't seeing foreign films at that point. I think the first time I saw a film that was, I don't know what it was rated then. It was, I remember once a friend and I went way out York Road somewhere to see What's New Pussycat, which was R-rated, I think. It might have been X-rated. I don't know how we got in. But the other one, I remember seeing an early softcore lesbian film at what was then the 5 West, now the Parkway, Therese and Isabel, which I barely remember. It was a Radley Metzger film, I think, who was like the king of softcore. I don't always remember where I've seen things, but I do remember seeing that at the 5 West, which had the most comfortable, it's the first theater I was in that had the seats that reclined. Of course, now they don't have them at the Parkway. I think the Playhouse had them too, but the most comfortable seats were at the old 5 West. But like I say, I can't tell you too much about the late 60s, early 70s, except at Hopkins.